questions for the camera. I make love to the camera look. It's almost a blue steel, but with a smirk. Though I wouldn't trust it to stop bullets. What was for all the anime and video games and work that I've done, what meant the most to me, and/or which would I want to be in real life? So, maybe because of when it happened, the first thing that jumps to mind is Ninja Turtles. I played Leonardo in Ninja Turtles, and it was an extraordinary experience. Again, it's something that I'd been a fan of, but then all of a sudden, I get to be a part of something that's already been done, which is weird. But it's meant a lot to me to be that character. And I thought I was going to get recast. For the first season, I was like, oh, they're going to recast me, because 4Kids had a reputation for doing that. And I just thought they'd picked the wrong guy, because my idea of what Leo was supposed to be was not what it actually is. And what I was doing was what he's supposed to be, and I should have just trusted what everyone was saying. Like, Peter Laird, who is one of the two creators of the show, was like, you're perfect. He picked us, actually, from our auditions. So that was... Also, to be in the mindset, this is where it sounds a little bit corny, but to get into Leonardo's head, his discipline and his spirit, his character, he's not the leader because he wants to be in control of anything. He's the leader because he's the most disciplined and he wants to protect his family. In future episodes, later in the season, in the series, not the season, you know, when the Shredder almost kills us, there's some episodes where Leo gets kind of dark, but the whole point is he doesn't want to lose his family. So when Mikey's, you know, fooling around playing video games or whatever, he's like, we need to be training, because if we face this guy again, we could die, and I don't want my family to die. Anyway, I thought he was an extraordinarily positive character, something that was really great for me to get my head into every week. And I had a room full of brothers around me, and I grew up an only child, basically, so that meant a lot to me. Ninja Turtles. But I wouldn't want to actually be hiding in the sewers my whole life, especially in New York. I mean, it stinks enough on the surface of New York. I love New York. And it's pizza, Chicago. I have yet to have your pizza, but, you know, assuming you're all representatives of Chicago. It's like UN of Chicago. Yeah, okay, so that's my simple answer. I could go on and on because they all mean so much to me, and I'm sure everyone else you ask is going to be like, oh, it's like picking your favorite child, but that's the first one that came to mind, and it did mean a lot to me. And it was like 7 years of doing one character, which I've never done. I mean, Dean is starting to creep up there now. But we like record and then do nothing, and then record and then we're on hiatus again. So, you know, we've done 4 seasons of that in about the same time we did like 8 seasons of Ninja Turtles. It's because they're lazy. No, they're not. It's because Cartoon Network is always like, oh, we've got enough. Oh, they want more. We'll get more. Oh, we've got enough. Oh, the fans want more. We'll do more. So, that's that. Anyone else? Yes.
Yeah, were you intimidated, like, working on Summer Wars when you first found out that you were going to do that, because it won, like, Best Japanese Animated Feature and all this stuff? Like, were you at all intimidated by that? Like, when you went
Summer
into
Wars. Okay, was I intimidated by doing being offered Summer Wars?
Yeah.
I was really, really psyched. And the way it came to me was my friend Michael McFarlane was like, I want you to do this part. I auditioned for other stuff like Eden of the East, and I think my work with Mike McFarlane on Eden of the East is what put me in his head for Summer Wars. He's like, you know, I think you can do a good, like, math nerd guy. So, yeah, I feel like I used to do heroes, now I do nerds. Which is cool, because that's how I grew up. You know, being a hero, but then becoming a nerd. No. Just being a nerd. When I saw the movie, I immediately was psyched. I didn't know all the press. When I first heard about it, I don't know if it had been totally released and won all the awards yet. I just saw this extraordinary movie that I was psyched to be a part of. And it's really, really special. I feel like, this is where I'm going to step on some toes. All right, be prepared. Curl up your toes. I love anime. I was a fan before I was in the industry. And I was because I saw extraordinary concepts, incredible art, and stories that would otherwise never be told. In ways that were unfamiliar to my Western sensibility. And even European sensibility, because I grew up in Europe. But then there became a time when, like, the international distribution became such a gold mine, or a gold rush, that they were producing a lot of shows that they thought we'd wanted, or they became more derivative. Oh, if this one's sold, we'll make more like that. And then the Moe thing happened because Moe was is now making money domestically, and I feel like creatively it hasn't sustained its leading position. So when something like Summer Wars comes out, which is so extraordinary, I just was glad to see brilliant anime again. And there's still, I'm not saying all anime is like whack now. Just pretty much everything I used to see blew my mind, and now I'm like, been there, you know, and fewer things are, but I feel like it's on the upswing again. Thank the Lord. And anyway, so when I saw Summer Wars, I was psyched. And then I was contacted, when I was in Tokyo, I met a friend of mine who works at Madhouse, and we talked a little bit about it. It was still on the DL, but he was like, I'm so glad you're going to be Kenji, because you'll kick ass. And so I was immediately excited. I actually got to watch a copy of it before going in there, and on the train from LA to San Diego for Comic-Con, and I was just like riveted to my iPad, bawling when the dog started barking. I was like, "Don't you dare! You stupid dog! Shut up, dog! I know why you're barking. They haven't revealed it yet, but don't shut up, dog." Every time I see the movie with the dog barks, I get angry at the dog and start to like, because anyway, I was immediately excited. I wasn't intimidated. I didn't, but I recognized that the way they handled Kenji in the original was really, really special as well. It's not like you hear most that. I don't know, even that kind of leading nerdy male character archetype. It was very, very different, and yeah, it was fun. And one of the struggles in doing it was, you know, it's written and looks like from where we are in the States to be kind of like a nerdy math guy, but he's not. The point of him is that he's ordinary, really, really ordinary, too ordinary. He recognizes that he'll never be special, and then he has to do something extraordinary using his second place powers. You know. Anyway.